fogón de la canción y mi misión es darle son y algo más, un buen compás y además es darles paz. De la canción y mi misión es darle son y algo más, un buen compás y además es darles P-A-Z, paz. Well, hello there, and greetings from Felton, California, 95018. My name is Dennis Holt, and my camera person, production specialist Morgan McGinnis, and I are here under the spreading branches of the so-called Heritage Redwood in downtown Felton, California. The plaque, can you turn around, Morgan, and get the plaque there with the text on it. This redwood tree was planted in the early 90s by one of Felton's early settlers, George Featherstone, a man who knew the wonder and beauty of these trees. Born in Ottawa, Canada in 1872, came to the San Lorenzo Valley on March 17, 1888, died on September 27, 1947. Well, that's a very interesting date, because on September 27th, a few years later, let's see, 31 years later, that's very interesting, I designed this flag. You might shoot over here. This is kind of sideways, but this is the flag of the Taoist Romantic Revolution, and then maybe thereafter Republic. It's kind of sideways, but what it represents, if you turn it sideways, maybe you should turn it sideways. I got it on top here.
I can do it.
Oh, you can just turn it sideways. Oh, that's amazing what you can do with these cameras. Okay, so if this is up though. Is that up?
All right. That's up?
That's up.
All right.
Yeah. So you just saw it upside down.
We'll do some trickery.
Okay, we're doing verbal camera tricky here. Are we still on air here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Spinning around. We're having a lot of fun here. Okay, I can turn the flag. Okay.
I got it.
All right, you got it. So this is up here. And this flag represents a Chinese character for well, that's all right. We have to take our chances outdoors here. This is the Chinese character for language or speech or words, with one little additional thing. That plus in the middle of the rectangle there is additional to the normal character. And what you see is a mouth with a bunch of words coming up out of it. I have added this plus here in the middle to represent a sacred mouth, as it were, not necessarily a Christian mouth. It's not a Christian cross, but some kind of a sacred cross. And in doing so, the mouth starts to approximate the Chinese character for field, and it becomes also topologically equivalent to the astronomical and astrological character for the Earth. And so what I made this represent when I designed this flag back on September 27, 1978, I was in Cedar Grove, New Mexico at the time. This represents speech from the sacred mouth of the land. And this is April, Poetry Month, and you may have noticed earlier I had stacked up here a couple of books of poetry. In the middle we have our own great 19th century poet hero, Walt Whitman, who said in his, actually it was in the introduction to his Leaves of Grass, one of the later introductions, and also in his great poem By Blue Ontario's Shore, what he says is, their presidents shall not be their common referee so much as their poets shall. And I have taken this to heart. Some of you may have gotten the lyrics to that little song that I began at the beginning of this segment. Let me recite them for you and translate them for you. They're in Spanish. Soy un fogón de la canción y mi misión es darle son y además un buen compás y algo más es darles paz. I am a campfire of song, and my mission is to give you good sounds, and besides that, a good beat, and something more, it's to give you peace. And then I'm reading from, in fact, one of the broadsheets that I did some years ago here in Santa Cruz County, California. I distribute these things free. They include poetry and various kinds of statements, quotations from various people. And here is right at the beginning of this, after that my own statement, which became the song later, there is that quotation from Whitman. Their presidents shall not be their common referees so much as their poets shall. And I then stated, this is back on January 20th, 2005, on the day of the second Bush inauguration, and also it turns out the 80th birthday of the Nicaraguan poet Ernesto Cardenal, man who served as the Minister of Culture in the original Sandinista government. That was born on January 20th, 1925. Here's my statement at the beginning of this particular issue of La Fogata Cruceña. That was the name of my broadsheet in those days. Now it has been changed, its name, to the Quincunx. But I stated at that point, back on January 20th, 2005, I am convinced that the movement toward peace and toward a reconstituted sense of ourselves as, quote, Americans, and then in brackets I say, how I abhor the U.S.'s co-optation of that term, as if Canadians and Mexicans and Central and South Americans were not Americans. Our sense of ourselves as Americans needs to become less fragmented, more consolidated, or this is the movement, I see, the movement toward peace needs to become less fragmented, more consolidated around some sort of nucleus, some sort of rallying point. We lack a common campfire. And my claim here in my little song is that the bard, that is to say the poet, the singer, the human archivist of culture, is a principal centrifying force in society. As people congregate for poetry and music, for story and song, so does the folk, by which I mean the people of a nation-state, renucleate as the core of refreshed community. And certainly that's what we need, I believe, in our society. People are not talking to one another as often as I would like, and as often as I like to talk to various people. Let me read some more of Whitman, this being National Poetry Month. I want to read the two stanzas, one stanza that leads up to the stanza that has that quote from Whitman. This is from by Blue Ontario Shore, where he is considering the functions of the bard within a society such as that of the United States of America. These are sections 9 and 10.